Alright you guys, so this is the long-awaited Morphe and Jaclyn Hill palette. But I have been waiting on this palette for weeks now. It was supposed to be here a week ago. And it took a lot of harassment on my part to get it here. So I'm going to cover up my address and show this to you. This is what the box came looking like. And it was overnighted to me actually yesterday. Wednesday was yesterday. And I am going to explain my story to you guys, but I do have to get ready for work at this point. So I don't really have time to go into a lot of detail on it, and I want to use it, but I did want to unbox it with you guys, so that's what we're doing.
First time reaction.
I've noticed that a lot of people were getting broken or bent up palettes, so that's why I'm choosing to open this box with you guys, so that we can see together. This is what it looks like. This huge, gigantic bubble wrap.
I want it. Well, I want one of the shoes.
This is my order stuff. And inside, is the palette. And it actually looks really nice. The box that it's in is sturdy. It's got Jaclyn on the back. Everybody's seen this already. Creating this palette has truly been a dream come true for me. Morphe gave me full creative control and allowed me to customize my dream palette for everyone to enjoy. Every shade was customized by me, and I really hope you guys love it as much as I do. I wanted a range of neutrals and pops of color to accommodate all skin tones. I put my heart and soul into this palette, and I hope that my pickiness pays off. XO Jaclyn. Okay, so the box did not have the little piece of paper that's supposed to have the shade names on it. I've noticed that a lot of people were saying that it was actually in the box, not in the palette box. So let's see if it's in this box. So we're gonna pull it out. Wait a minute.
Some large bubble wrap.
Still nothing with the shade names. You would think after all the trouble I've been to, they would have been more adamant about getting me my shade names. But of course they weren't. That's okay. More bubble wrap, which is good. And this is the palette.
Big.
It's nice size. We're gonna open it up. Still no shade names, but all of my shades seem to be intact. There is, I don't know if you guys are gonna be able to pick up on it, a little bit of fallout around some of it, but none of my shades are broken or chipped. And I am happy to have it in good condition. So that's it. I am going to go ahead and get off of here, and I will be back after work to explain to you guys all the trouble I went through to actually get this palette.
So see you later. See you later. Bye.
Hey you guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm gonna finally talk to you guys about, oh my gosh, literally there has not been that many planes all day, and of course the minute I sit down to film I've literally heard like 8 planes. So it's been a couple of days, actually it's been about a week or so since I received my palette, and I filmed the beginning of this video with my daughters. I just haven't really, I've been procrastinating, okay? I said I was going to come back that night and explain to you guys what went on with this palette, but it's been a couple of days, about a week and a half, and here we are. I am going to add some receipts in this video and show you guys the emails and the tweets and whatnot. I literally had to harass Morphe. It was a really crazy thing for me to get my palette. But I did finally get it without the shade names, might I add. And I know a lot of people were missing those. And I've been using it. As you can see, it's gotten a lot of love. It's actually a really great palette. You guys, it was well worth the money. But let me tell you something. What I had to go through to get this thing was ridiculous, okay? I'm wearing it on my eyes now. I've been wearing it every single day since I got it. I really love it. I am going to tell you that. It's definitely worth the money. And you guys, if you want it, order it. It comes out, I think, tomorrow, Tuesday, the 18th, I think is the date tomorrow. Yeah, so yeah, it comes out tomorrow. If you guys are thinking about getting it, I would recommend it. It's a great palette. But here's what I had to go through, okay? I ordered it on the 21st, the day it came out, and I had kind of said I wasn't going to get it. I really wanted it, and then I decided against it, and then I'm like, the more I think about it, the more I want this palette, right? Plain. I got online at 10 a.m., right, and I had the palette in my cart as soon as it went live, and I got put in this little line, right? Tick, 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 tick. About 8 minutes or so went by, and it had crashed like 2 or 3 times. I had to refresh it, but thankfully I was able to go ahead and process the order. I paid for it. I got that page that pops up when you order, and it looked kind of jumbled, so I was a little bit nervous. Like, it said thank you for your order, but then it was still showing that if I wanted to order it, to go ahead and put my information in. It didn't give me any of the spaces to, but it was really bad jumbled, and I'm assuming that's due to the high volume of the people on the site at that time. But so a few hours go by, I saw, you know, somebody that I am friends with on Facebook got their confirmation probably like 9 hours before me. So again, when I saw that she got hers, I was kind of feeling like, well, maybe I think I got it, but I didn't get it. Well, I checked my bank account, and there was the order in my bank account, or on my bank account. You know, it was paid for, right? It was still processing, but it was there. So a little while goes by, and I finally get my confirmation. I'm all excited, yay, yay, yay. Well, then the day after that, on the 23rd, I got my shipping information, my tracking, the email that says your order has shipped. So, right, I get my tracking information. Now that begins the, 3 to 7 business days that it's supposed to take for standard shipping, right? Right. So, I'm so excited about it. I'm talking about it to my husband. I let like 2 or 3 days go by, and then I start noticing people are getting theirs. I'm like, well, maybe they paid for the 1 or 2 business day shipping. Maybe they got it overnighted. I don't know. Y'all excuse my hair. It looks kind of crazy. Whatever. So I let another day go by, and people around me are now starting to get theirs who paid for the standard shipping, the $7.99 shipping. So then I'm like starting to get a little concerned. I'm seeing all these people on the internet getting theirs, and then here I am, and my tracking has not updated not once since the first day, since the 23rd, when I got my tracking information to begin with. So I'm starting to get a little panicky, and I notice that people are having the same problem, so I start tweeting Morphe. And then I start seeing that they're saying, if you're having a problem, text this number or email that number. And I'm noticing that people are getting broken palettes. And I literally saw someone that had their palette bent in half, and all the shadows were broken out of it. And the pans weren't even in the palette anymore. It was ridiculous. And people were getting boxes that had nothing in them, or boxes that had the wrong palette in them. So I, of course, start panicking. Like I paid $38 plus $7.99, $45 for this palette, right? So I'm starting to get a little panicky. I sent the email, and I didn't get anything back. Well, then I noticed that Morphe was tweeting out, send an email to this other email address, so I sent one to them as well. And I get this standard, we just want to let you know that we got your email, and we will be getting to it due to the high volume of emails, that it'll take, up to 2 business days, whatever. On that Friday, I started getting nervous. It was the Friday before the 4th of July, and I started getting kind of creeped out about it, okay? I was feeling like, my tracking information has still not updated at this point, and people around me are getting theirs. And I call customer service, and the lady tells me that the reason why I'm having a delay is because in my area, there was a tropical storm in the Gulf, and that was delaying UPS. So I called UPS, and I'm like, hello, I'm just trying to see why my tracking information hasn't updated, because the Morphe is telling me that they shipped it out, that UPS actually has my package, but they haven't updated due to the tropical storm in the Gulf. UPS tells me that's not true, and they were not experiencing any delays due to the tropical storm that happened like a week and a half prior to all of this, and that they actually had not received my package from Morphe yet. So of course I'm starting to get even more panicked. People are getting updates that theirs is lost. I even saw someone on Instagram who ordered it for her birthday, and she was looking forward to it like 100%, and they actually sent her an email that said, we're sorry, but your order has to be canceled, and they refunded her money, didn't give her the option to wait on the next release or anything like that, okay? So that's a little bit frustrating to me, you know, and I'm panicking. I'm calling customer service. They're telling me something different every time I call. Finally, I Googled the corporate number in Burbank, California, and I call that number. Obviously, press the number for customer service, but I'm still thinking that I'm probably going to be connected to the same customer service that I was in the beginning. And during all this, I'm tweeting on, like, replying to every tweet that Morphe tweets. I'm tweeting on everybody else's tweet that's tweeting negative things about this, or saying they don't have theirs, or people around them are getting theirs, and blah blah blah. I even saw someone post a video from Australia who ordered 3 or 4 palettes, and she had gotten all of hers. Like, how are these people so far away that paid for the standard shipping getting their stuff? But I'm in the United States, and my tracking hasn't updated at all. So I get in touch with this lady that's at, I'm assuming the corporate office, well, I know it was the corporate office now, but she tells me that if I don't get my palette by Tuesday, that they will overnight me one, okay? It's because still my information has not updated at this point. That gives me a little bit of, it makes me relax, okay? So I relaxed a little. At least I know if I don't get it by Tuesday, they're going to send me one overnight. Then I start hearing that they're out. I call the regular customer service number that Monday to let them know, hey, Tuesday's the 4th of July. There's no way I'm getting it on Tuesday. My mail doesn't run that day, so can you please go ahead and send me one anyway, because even my tracking number is still nothing at this point. And she told me that, sorry, my eyes are watering. She told me that they were out of palettes completely, and there was no way I was going to get one, and that she could offer me a refund or open an investigation into my palette. At this point, I'm not even disappointed anymore. I'm hurt and I'm angry because they took my money out the day I paid for it, my money cleared the day I got my shipping information, my money was cleared out of my bank. So of course you can understand my frustration when they waste no time taking the money out of my bank, but when I'm looking for my package, it's, oh, we don't know, we don't have any more, you're just gonna have to wait, and it could take up, she told me it could take up to 10 more business days to hear back from the investigation that they were opening into UPS, okay? I called UPS, I even tweeted UPS and got a DM from them on Twitter, and they said, even still, that they did not receive my package from Morphe. So, I guess all of my tweeting and whatnot paid off, because I got a DM on Twitter from Morphe Brushes, their Twitter page. And the lady assured me that if I didn't receive it, they were going to overnight me one. And I even asked her, I'm like, well, someone's telling me that y'all are out of them completely. How are you going to overnight me one if y'all are out of them? And she assured me that she had one for me. And, I had heard previously that they had a reserve, but still, they had already offered that same day that she told me if I didn't get it by Tuesday, they gave me a refund on the shipping cost. That doesn't change the fact that, I still paid a lot of money for this palette and nobody can tell me what happened to it. I understand things happen, but they know Jaclyn Hill's audience, and they know how many people that follow her on all of her sites, and they should have been more prepared for this, right? At least that's how I feel, because they've seen the craziness that happens. Monday comes around and I'm calling, you guys, it's not here, and my mail's not going to run on Tuesday, and then they tell me, well, Wednesday, wait till Wednesday. At this point, I'm like, y'all are just pushing me off. I even had one supervisor guy from the regular customer service number tell me to email him the screenshots of the DMs with Morphe brushes so that he can make sure that that's really what happened, and then he would forward them to corporate or whatever. And it frustrated me because I'm like, I feel like y'all are just pushing this back, putting me off. Tell me what's going on, right? He tried to tell me that someone taped over the original label, and that's why UPS wasn't able to scan it. It's just a roundabout, all these excuses and delays, and it's just frustrating. It's a lot of money, especially from that brand where most of their palettes are half the price that this one was. Ugh. So anyway, I wait till Wednesday, okay, and I checked my mail, and of course I had mail from that day already, but of course no palette. So I send a DM on Twitter, and I sent that DM at like, you know, right as soon as I checked the mail, I sent the DM and I let them know that my mail had run, but there was still no palette. And then I probably let about an hour and a half go by before never hearing anything. So I started feeling like, well, maybe they were just lying to me. Maybe she was not really going to reply. So I called them, and they told me that, you know, they were going to go ahead and send one, but she made sure to tell me that when I got the original one, because now my tracking information has updated. This day, Wednesday, the day after the 4th, you know, days after I was supposed to have received it already, my tracking number finally updates. And she tells me that once I receive it, to make sure to send them that one back. She sent me an email immediately with the return label that I could download, print, and stick on the box and return it. But I still, at that point, had not received the email with the tracking number for the overnighted palette. So I waited about an hour and a half, and I sent her a message again. I'm like, you know, I still have not received the tracking information. So she assured me that it was going to come that day, and I would receive the palette the next day, Thursday. You know, finally, then I received the email on my account saying, you know, this is your tracking information through FedEx. Well, I got the palette the next day, thankfully. I have this one palette, and I love it to death. And I mean, I'm thankful that I have it, of course. I just don't understand why it was such an issue to get it to me to begin with. You know, I understand that things happen. I understand that huge launches could cause some type of delay, but I firmly believe that if I would not have went to the extents that I did with all the calls, the emails, which, by the way, they have still not responded to my emails, the tweets, I went on Instagram and commented on their stuff, on Facebook I commented on their stuff, and I believe that if I wouldn't have went through that, I still would be sitting here without a palette and probably would have had to have a refund, and then I would have never gotten it, because I can't honestly say that I will ever order from Morphe again. I mean, I just don't feel as if, I'm thankful that they overnighted me the palette, right? But again, I feel as though if I wouldn't have done that, I still wouldn't have one. I would just be sitting here, and I know there's a good amount of people that waited and waited and waited and finally just, got the refund. They accepted the refund, and I was not willing to do that. I was not willing to accept that refund. But yeah, that is my experience with the Jaclyn Hill palette. Well, with ordering it. I mean, again, it's a really great palette. I love it so much, and I use it every day, and I am thankful to have it. But with Morphe as a company, I don't know if I could ever put my trust in them again. I even went on the Better Business Bureau website, and there's like tons of claims and stuff. And it actually took people making claims in order to get things taken care of, and I think that's just terrible. I mean, you're a huge company. You knew you were going to sell out, and here we are restocking, and there are still people that don't have their palettes from the original launch, and I just think that's terrible. But yeah. If you like this video, go ahead and give me a thumbs up. I know it's going to be controversial a little bit, but I just had to get my story out there. I wanted to let you guys know what was going on and how I felt about it. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel. Follow me on all my social media. It'll be linked down below, and I will see you guys in my next one. Bye.